Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. General Hospital spoilers reveal a preview clip has been released for Friday, April 4, 2025. It shows Ava Jerome, Mora West, sitting by Rick Lansing's Rick Hurst hospital bed. Carly Spencer, Laura Wright, tries to reason with Jason Morgan, Steve Burton. Plus, Jocelyn Jacks, Eden McCoy, is questioned by Jack Brennan, Chris McKenna. On Friday, April 4, fans will see Drew Kane, Cameron Matheson, issue a demand. Continuing his confrontation with Curtis Ashford, Donald Turner, Kai Taylor's, Jen's Austin Astrup, name is mentioned. Curtis wants to be sure that Drew doesn't have any devious intentions with Kai. While the surgery is a generous offer, Kai should be careful that Drew isn't going to call in that favor later on. When Kai updates Trina Robinson, Tabiana Ali, she will want the best for him. However, Trina might be just as concerned as Curtis about what Kai is getting involved with. Kai did ask some good questions, such as what happens if I still can't play. However, since then, Kai seems more fired up about this surgery. While Kai did agree to have Portia Robinson, Brooke Care, verify the procedure, the good doctor could approve just to get Drew off her back. What happens if that surgery has complications or ends up being a bad deal? Portia won't be able to blame Drew for that one. General Hospital spoilers for tomorrow reveal that Lucky Spencer, Jonathan Jackson, visits Elizabeth Liz Baldwin, Rebecca Herbst in the hospital. While Liz was fairly lucky considering the horrific crash, she does have some bad news to share with Lucky. The nurse tells him that her recovery is going to be more difficult than she realized. Fans will also see Ava sit by Rick's bedside, begging him to wake up. It's possible that Rick might open his eyes and mutter something before passing out again. That could give Ava just enough intel to realize this is due to Christina Corinthos Davis, Kate Mansi. Ava might also learn from the police that Rick's brake lines were cut. Over at the WSB Training Center, Jack is grilled by Jack. While Jack doesn't look pleased in the preview clip, Jocelyn is most likely on the right track about Vaughn, Bryce Durfee. Meanwhile, Carly Spencer, Laura Wright, asks Jason Morgan, Steve Burton, to trust her judgment about Jack not being the threat to her. Port Charles may be a small town, but on April 4, its emotional stakes are sky high. Old wounds are reopening, alliances are being tested, and relationships are crumbling faster than anyone can patch them back together. Secrets are bubbling to the surface, and the consequences will shake several core families. From Ava's mounting heartbreak to Carly's scalding sense of justice, and Jocelyn going head-to-head with her father, there's no shortage of tension in this week's General Hospital. Let's dive into the boiling pot that is April 4. Ava's unraveling, the ghost of love lost. It's no secret that Ava Jerome rarely lets the world see her vulnerable. The high heels, the perfectly painted lips, and that icy stare, it's her armor. But on April 4, the cracks begin to show, and Ava's carefully controlled facade threatens to crumble. Nicholas' return from the shadows left Ava stunned, and though she pretended she'd moved on, that couldn't be further from the truth. Despite their history of betrayal, blackmail, and mutual destruction, Ava still loves Nicholas, perhaps more than she ever wanted to admit. Unfortunately, the timing couldn't be worse. Nicholas has reappeared a changed man, darker, colder, and no longer the husband who once adored her. His bond with their son, Spencer, is growing, but he seems emotionally unreachable to Ava. And worse still, Nicholas seems to be gravitating towards someone new, someone who isn't burdened by their twisted past. On April 4, Ava finds herself alone at the gallery, staring at a painting Nicholas once gifted her. When Sunny shows up unexpectedly, the conversation takes a turn neither of them anticipate. Their recent closeness, born of shared losses and shifting loyalty, comes into play as Ava confesses her heartbreak. You don't get to choose when your heart betrays you, Ava murmurs, her voice heavy with tears she won't allow to fall. Sunny, more empathetic than usual, surprises her with his tenderness. But whether this leads to something more or just deepens the complicated web they're spinning remains to be seen. One thing is certain, Ava's heartbreak is far from over, and the next moves she makes could be game-changing. Carly's Judgment Day for everyone else. Carly Spencer has never shied away from telling people exactly what she thinks, especially when she believes justice isn't being served. April 4 finds Carly in top form, angry, suspicious, and unwilling to bite her tongue. Her main target, Nina Reeves, of course. Nina's return to Port Charles society following her divorce from Sonny hasn't exactly been smooth sailing. And Carly's not buying the poor Nina act one bit. After overhearing part of a conversation between Nina and Martin, Carly becomes convinced that Nina's up to something again. She corners Nina at the Metro Court. Yes, the hotel Nina now co-owns thanks to Drew's misguided generosity, and the gloves come off. Carly accuses Nina of manipulating situations to worm her way back into Wiley's life, and potentially Sonny's orbit again. "You've burned every bridge, Nina," Carly snaps. "But I guess setting fires is your favorite pastime." Nina tries to hold her ground, but Carly's words hit where it hurts. Worse, Carly later takes her concerns to Michael, suggesting he limit Nina's contact with Wiley. But Carly's judgment isn't only reserved for Nina today. She has some choice words for Jocelyn too, after she finds out about Joss's recent explosive confrontation with her father. Carly, standing at the center of so many swirling storms, may believe she's defending her family, but is she pushing them away in the process? Jocelyn versus Jax. A father-daughter war erupts. Emotions are running high in the Jax household, and when Jocelyn is emotional, there's no holding her back. After learning that her father, Jasper Jax, had a clandestine conversation with Dex, warning him to stay away from his daughter, Joss loses it. And on April 4, she confronts Jax in what becomes one of the most explosive scenes of the episode. "You don't get to run off to Australia and then come back and play protective dad," Joss yells. "You don't know my life. You don't know me anymore." Jax, ever the calm and rational type, tries to explain that he's only looking out for her. He knows Dex's world is dangerous, filled with mob violence and dirty money, and he refuses to stand by while his daughter gets dragged into it. But for Joss, who's still dealing with the fallout of her breakup with Dex and the emotional confusion that lingers, it's not about Dex. It's about agency, about being respected, about finally breaking free from everyone trying to control her life, especially the men. "You never listened when I told you I wanted to fight my own battles. You still don't," Joss says through gritted teeth, her voice cracking. Their argument ends with Jax walking out, defeated but unwilling to back down. And Joss, seething, makes a decision that could surprise everyone. She texts Dex. Whether it's for closure or something more, remains to be seen. Bonus sparks around town. Spencer and Trina's intimacy tested. Spencer is still trying to be everything Trina needs, supportive, honest, stable, but with Nicholas suddenly playing Father of the Year, Spencer's insecurities come roaring back. Trina notices the change in him and worries they're drifting apart. On April 4, a heated conversation ends with Trina asking, "Is this still what you want?" Spencer doesn't have an answer. Christina makes a bold ask. Christina has been thriving at the youth center, and her confidence is growing. On April 4, she asks Sonny for an investment in a new community project, one that involves outreach to at-risk youth. Sonny's torn. Supporting Christina means letting her into his world, but also risking pulling her too close to the danger he can't seem to escape. Anna and Jordan compare notes. The mystery of Valentine's new business venture and his increasingly suspicious behavior gets another spotlight moment when Anna and Jordan team up. A shared coffee turns into a brainstorming session, and by the end of the day, both women are convinced Valentine's involved in something far bigger than he's letting on. A stakeout might be next. Looking ahead. Trouble brewing. April 4 is a day of emotional detonations, but it's also laying the groundwork for something even more explosive. Ava's spiral could push her into dangerous decisions, especially if she leans too hard on Sonny. Carly's mission to expose Nina might have unintended consequences, and Joss's fiery independence could drive her back into Dex's world, just when danger is circling closer. Will Ava finally admit she still loves Nicholas? Will Carly's thirst for justice cross a line? And will Joss's choices spark a new war between the Corinthos and Jax clans? Whatever the case, one thing is clear. Port Charles won't be the same after this. Want a continuation for the next episode preview? Or a version from a specific character's point of view? I can do those too. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our GH News 24 YouTube channel for more update news.